Hello Warriors fans, Bloody River 13 here with another rant. This is about siblings or kin who don't seem to show any sign of remorse when a kin of theirs dies, and they just show about the same remorse of any as other cats in the clan. Now this only mostly takes place in the first series, because the errands seem to have caught up more and made kin much more caring in the second, third, and fourth series when their litter mates or just kin would die. So first example, Dustpaw and Ravenpaw. I know what y'all thinking, they're not related to each other. Well, I didn't even know this till fact till Dream Rising pointed it out. And by the way, Dream Rising is the reason I'm doing this rant. Thank you again, Dream Rising. Go check out her channel. She's a cool, awesome person. So anyway, as I was saying, I went onto the Warriors Wiki, and the errand did dictate that they were actually, Ravenpaw and Dustpaw were actually litter mates. But the problem was Dustpaw refused to acknowledge Ravenpaw. He pretended he didn't exist. He decided to pretend that they weren't related, because he's probably ashamed of how skittish Ravenpaw was. Which is really sad, since a lot of the litter mates throughout the series are actually incredibly close to each other. And then, even if you pretend to avoid them, there'd be a small part of them that still cared for Ravenpaw. And yet, when Ravenpaw disappeared, or when Fireheart told everyone that he was killed when they went to invade ShadowClan, Dustpaw didn't seem to show any sign of remorse at all, even though he apparently just lost a litter mate. And same thing with first thing in the book was Sandpaw and Redtail. It was also revealed that Redtail is actually Sandpaw's father, but she just showed about as much remorse as any other cat in the clan. She didn't have any extra remorse. In fact, Dustpaw, who was Redtail's apprentice, showed more remorse than she did when it in fact was her own father, which is kind of just weird and jacked up to me. My guess is that the errands didn't really decide to make them litter mates or kin at all, or didn't even really think about it when they were writing the books. They only just wrote that up oh, this was a cat's related to this cat, when probably fans started questioning about who's related to who. And it still kind of just saddens me how it didn't go into much context, how a lot of cats didn't seem to care about, oh, my dad just died. Oh, well. Oh, my brother just disappeared, or died on the ShadowClan border. Who cares? It's kind of all really depressing and messed up, especially when you go into the second and third series. When Brambleclaw, he was always so close to Tawny Pelt. They were, even when another clan, they were always just so close, and that's what I loved about them. And then, even further, when he found out Hawkfrost was his brother, he's like, oh my gosh, you're my brother, I'm going to be suddenly close to you and be like your best friend. When he didn't even acknowledge Mothwing at all, even though he's like, oh, you're my sister. Oh, well, he's my brother, so I'm going to like him better. It's like, when he found out they were brothers, he suddenly feels like he's really close to him when he doesn't even acknowledge Mothwing at all, which is another thing that weirded me out a bit. And a lot of siblings also throughout the series, they are really sad when litter mates or kin die. Lineblaze and Jayfeather, when Hollyleaf died in the tunnels, they were heartbroken. Or when she, spoilers for Last Hope, when she died again to save Ivypool, they were all depressed and sad again. But in the first series, they didn't show any of this general remorse when their kin or litter mates would die. Oh, I'm sorry about that. My sister's stupid cookie clock next door, if you heard that random meow. Whatever, they just, I don't know, it just really weirds me out how they never seem upset or show any sign of remorse when a cat dies. With I'm trying to think of other examples. Another example would be Lionheart and Goldenflower, who were litter mates. When Lionheart died, once again, Goldenflower didn't seem all that upset about it. She was just about upset as all her other clanmates. It was more like she was just losing her deputy instead of losing her brother. Same with Mousefur and Running Wind. They were litter mates, but when Running Wind was killed, she just mourned along with the rest of her clan. She doesn't have any extra remorse for being her litter mate. Or with Graystripe and Longtail. I know you're thinking what? They're not related. But if you look on the Warriors Wiki, they are half brothers. They both shared the same father, Patchbelt. And I'm going to do a rant about that later on, about because I know a lot of people got really mad at Crowfeather having 3 mates, but if you look through the first series and go through the family trees, a lot of the cats got busy with a lot of other cats and have had up to 3 mates. A lot of them actually have, which I'll do another rant on later today. And And another thing about family trees, Spotted Leaf is Sandpaw's aunt. And once again, when Spotted Leaf died, Sandpaw also didn't really seem to care all that much. At all, really. In fact, she cared a lot less, seemed to actually care a lot less than other cats. And it's just kind of sad how in the first series, there's such a dramatic change. How in the first series they're like, oh, related, oh, well, I'm just gonna mourn with the rest of my cats. Like, more about they're just losing a clanmate than kin. When through the second and third and fourth series, if they lose a littermate or someone who's kin, their remorse is a lot greater than other cats in the clan. But this one, they seem more indifferent and just grieve along just the rest of the clan at a normal pace, which is really weird. And, well, that's it for this rant. So I hope you enjoyed it and look forward to the cat horror rant that's going to come up in a bit. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and Blood Over 13 is out.